Welcome everyone, good morning, and welcome to Feel the Beat with DJ B here on Jess FM. We're live. We have two in-studio guests. On my right, Richard, and on my left, Mercedes Fawn from Fawn's Music. Appreciate having them in today. Thank you guys for coming in. We're going to do some in-studio songs with them. We're going to have a little bit of a discussion first of all, but thank you. Thanks for tuning in to Jess FM, Jess TV. Download the app on iPhone or Android so you can listen wherever you are. Check out our website, jessfm.ca, and you'll be able to see all our programs, watch videos, watch live TV. I'm DJ B from DJ B Entertainment, and I am your host every Saturday and Sunday here on Jess FM. So, guys, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having
Right
us.
on. We're going to enjoy some great tunes from you. So, you're both members of Fawn's Music, which is your name, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Your-
that's my last name.
Your last name, right. Okay, so when did y'all start? How did you get into playing the guitar, music, and into the band?
I mean, I think both of us have been playing music separately for ages.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really remember at this point what got me started.
Me neither.
Junior high and everything like that.
I remember writing songs about bullies when I was 9 years old.
Oh, there you go. That always makes you want to write something and express yourself when something like that happens.
exactly. I think that's when I
good.
first discovered
Good.
that music was kind of that expression.
Yeah.
But Richard and I met many years later, 2015?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, 2015.
We were wedding DJs together
Ah.
for one of the companies here in town. And I mean, we always had fun working together, and I couldn't help to notice that we'd be playing songs and harmonizing on top of the songs with each other. And then one day it was just this thing where, like, you write songs, like, we should record something. So we just kind of hopped into the Studio One there at the University of Lethbridge. I was in the DDA program, and we kind of plugged away on an album with some good friends for a while. And
Nice.
Yeah, and then some of those friends eventually joined the band, and
Awesome.
yeah,
That's
so
great.
everything just kind of evolved out of the
Nice.
album.
We have something in common. I'm a DJ as well. I
Oh,
do weddings. I
there
do
you
events.
go.
All kinds of things. So that's awesome. Great
Awesome.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, when you got into music and that, what type of music did you start doing? Like, who inspired you? What artists? What type of music?
Our Lady Peace was probably one of the biggest
Oh, yeah?
influences
Oh,
of
wow.
my junior high, high school period. So I listened to a lot of progressive rock, so Incubus and stuff like that.
I feel like my taste was very much a Venn diagram of yours in the sense where I was a lot into a lot of the other kind of 90s bands like Soundgarden and some of that kind of Seattle sound stuff and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
So we definitely had a lot in common when we started playing together.
Nice. Is that where your writing is? Like, you do that alternative type music when you write?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very much kind of channeling a little bit of that sound from the 90s, that nostalgic feel.
Right.
So,
Okay, good. Great. So you're going to do a couple of tunes for us.
if you'd like us to.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You betcha. So why don't we have you do one? And to start off with here, pick a tune and just go for it.
Okay,
betcha.
sounds good. I think we'll play a song called The Light Lets Me Down.
Sounds good.
Okie doke. I can taste your lips on mine, morning when I'm broken, static sunshine. Meet your eyes and that desire. Distant memories sleep next to me. These ghostly shadows of you make the mark and set my soul on fire. I'm burning without you. I'm burning without you. I can feel the absence of myself inside an empty room, grasping for the edges of something small to hold on to. I make myself a shadow where it meant to lay around, and then somehow I still think the light will always so close to me now, sleep so far away and haunts me with the passing of the night. I'm hurting now. I can feel the absence of myself inside an empty room, grasping for the edges of something small to hold on to. I make myself a shadow if it meant you'd be around, and then somehow I still think that always let me down, always let me down, down, down. I can feel the absence of myself inside an empty room, grasping for the edges, something small to hold on to. Make myself a shadow if it meant you'd be around. Somehow I still think love always let me down. You always let me down, 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 down. I can taste the gas on mine. I can feel the breath on me, and then I wake and sleep something nightmare that's made of my design. And you always let me down, 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 down.
All right, that was excellent. Thank you.
Oh,
Superb.
thanks.
Right on.
Thank you.
So I noticed playing the guitar, neither of you use picks. Is that like personal preference?
Oh, I just-
Or you had a
I
pick?
keep
okay.
mine
Okay. You weren't using a pick.
Traditionally, I taught myself without
Yeah.
a pick, and once I joined the band, I started
Did you?
using
Okay,
one
okay.
because I find that I play a little bit harder,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit harder on my fingers. But
Yeah.
I kind of go either way.
Yeah, I've seen people do that, and it's personal preference. And one guy said it's because he gets a better feel of the strings, right? So it's just an interesting little.
Well,
thing.
and
Yeah.
the sound can change too.
Yeah,
like
it
it can
can.
sound a lot more bright and everything
Yeah.
with a pick. So.
Yeah, for sure. Right on. So that was awesome. So that song that you have recorded, right?
Yep, it's on the album.
Okay. And how is that album available to people? Can they?
Oh,
can they
wherever you
download
like
tracks?
to stream your music.
Yeah?
So
Okay, nice.
Apple Music, Spotify,
Nice.
Amazon. I'm trying to think. Bandcamp,
Okay.
Napster.
Nice. Nice. Well, that's
yeah,
great.
actually, and we have physical copies available. So if you come to any of our shows, we'd love to
Okay.
have a chat. And
So
see
how
your
often
CD.
do you do shows? Like, and where do you usually perform the shows? Just wherever you can get booked, or do you have a set location where you go a lot?
Steve at the Owl so far has been treating us very nicely.
Okay.
We played technically our first ever show with the complete lineup at the album release that just happened last Friday.
Oh,
Here
nice.
At the Owl, and it was a very good time. It was a packed house, lots of feel good energy there for
Yeah,
the night. And,
it was amazing.
And then we're back there next month on February 15th
Okay.
with one of our friends here in town, Tyler Van Duel.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So there's 5 members of your band, you said, right?
Yeah.
So what instruments do you all have in the band?
So Richard is lead guitarist,
Okay.
and then we have a gentleman by the name of Antonio on bass,
Okay.
Chris on drums, Cliff on keys, and then electric guitar double, and then I play acoustic guitar.
Nice. So what kind of a band leader is Mercedes?
Oh, she's fantastic. She, at this point, I've played with a lot of different people, and you know, practices are always a different thing depending on who you
Okay.
play with. But more so than with any bands, when you roll up for a Fawns practice, we normally just hang out for half an hour before we even pick anything up, and we catch up with each other's lives. And Mercedes normally brings pizza or coffee or some other
There
sort
you
of
go.
little gift.
Coffee the boys.
So you always feel very well taken care of when you show up, and
Just trying to smooth things over before she cracks the whip, you see.
Yes, exactly.
Ka-choo. It's a little less of a bite that
it's
way.
more of a wet noodle. Wet noodle.
Fair enough. So, when you were starting out in the band and even separately, each of you, what is the best piece of advice that you have gotten? You know, there's a lot of tough times in doing music and stuff, but the best piece of advice that either of you have gotten, you know, in your lives to, you know, go forward and do what you want to do, basically.
The best piece of advice that I've ever gotten, and I know it sounds cliche, but it really is true, is that you actually just like, if it's something that you love, then you just keep doing it because you love it, regardless of what you think is going to happen to it. And I find that once I did that, once I was like, you know, I'm just going to do this to put out the album because this is what I've always wanted to do, it suddenly becomes something that I'm like, hey, we could actually do this. So,
It's kind of partially what she said, but it's always just been for me, do it for yourself. You know, at the end of the day, like, at least for me, it's always been a very cathartic thing to just get in front of some people, make some noise. Hopefully some people enjoy it, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be the person who enjoys it the most.
Yes,
And that's really important. to me.
Is that what you would tell young people starting out too?
Totally.
You know, give them that type of advice as well, because you know everybody tries to change and fit someone else's mold. But if you're doing what you want to do, then it's
well, and that's how you find your own voice, right? You find the values that you care about, you find a message that you want to carry, and you can't do that if you're trying to cater to other people's needs all the time.
yeah. So who primarily writes? Do like all of you collaborate, or is it you, Mercedes, or do you write some songs and her write others, or how does that work?
I think it's changing as the band gets settled. Everything that's on I Grew Up Here was completely written by Mercedes. I got the real kind of privilege and liberty in the studio of taking all of these songs that Mercedes had shown me, which at the time were mainly, you know, like recordings of herself and her acoustic guitar. And that's when we really got to figure out what we wanted a full band to look like. And that's when, as the person kind of at the recording board, I got the privilege of saying, you know, what if we added a piano right here? What if we added some lap steel or something like that? So while Mercedes wrote everything, she was very gracious in letting me take a lot of liberties in terms of what the finished product got to sound like.
Yeah, the arrangements and the compositions are all like Richard's genius. And then, of course, the genius of the musicians who are featured on the CD,
Okay.
adding
nice.
their own little flair to it.
So when you're writing, do you do the lyrics first, or do you do the melody and music first?
I don't know about you when you're writing, because Richard is a songwriter, but when I do it, I always write my melody first, and it's
Okay.
based on how that melody makes me feel, and those are the lyrics that come out of it.
Oh,
So.
nice.
I would say very much the same. Words are always, if a new song is debuted by me, it's normally because the words were written the night before, and everything else was written 6 months ago. So at least for me, words is always the last thing that happens. And I think that's partially because, for me, it's the most challenging part,
Yeah.
but you know, it's different for everybody.
How long does it usually take you to write a song? Does it come like that? Like some of the most famous songs, even from the Beatles, were like in the back of a cab, or you know, in
Yeah.
10 minutes or something,
Uh-huh.
right? You know, some of the big time songs. How long does that take for you guys?
For me, it actually really depends. I've got songs on the album that I worked on for days, just thinking, how am I going to make this work? And then the next song that we're going to play for you, I wrote it in 15 minutes. It was
Yeah,
like I
nice.
was channeling some sort of spirit that had something it wanted to say, and it wasn't me who wrote it at all. So
Oh, wow, nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, it's interesting how that works, and you just get that vibe and go with it. Yeah, right on. Cool. You're listening live to Feel the Beat with DJB here on Jess FM. My two in-studio guests this morning, Richard and Mercedes from Fawns Music, did one great number. We're going to have another one shortly here. You can listen to us live on jessfm.ca or on our app. Download that on your smartphone, whether it's Android or iPhone. Download it. You can listen wherever you are. I'm DJ B from DJ B Entertainment. I host Feel the Beat every Saturday and Sunday morning, so check us out, tune in, because I have some great guests, great music for you as well. So we are now going to enjoy another song by these two talented people. What's the name of the song that you're going to do now?
This one's called In the Jar.
In the Jar. Okay, let's hear them jam it.
Okay. Sorry. Technical difficulties.
She was strumming so hard on the last song, she threw her guitar out of tune.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a harsh wind blowing, it tears across the streets, and the gutters are clean for tonight. There's a salty whisper from the city to a lover. Please just let me be. While the engines just keep working to drown out the sound of lonely hearts that beat until they burn. There are souls that linger from deep within the mind, trembling like leaves upon the ground. Still the clock is ticking and leaving nothing behind but the shadows of the things we long to keep alive. And all of us are waiting, we're yearning for that side that tells us we can hang out coast to dry, leaving the penny in the jar, he says. And I think I'll take mine. And I think I'll take mine. There's a fire that leads the sinners and the saints, screaming all the while that these things are the same. While everybody's rushing to the other side, and I've not yet seen the other lights. And so the books lay cold and restless as the words all disappear, and the pages lie like ashes in the earth, and the barren trees like soldiers who hold all of our secrets, while laziness just spits upon their feet. Still the clock is ticking, leaving nothing behind but the shadows of the things we long to keep alive. And all of us are waiting here, yearning for that side that tells us we can hang out coast to dry,
easy. And I think I'll take mine. And I think I'll take mine.
All right, that was excellent. In the jar.
Thank you.
This is a great jam. Get it? In the jar.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh,
Thought I'd throw that in there for you.
thoroughly
Thank-
enjoyed it.
Thank you, guys. That was excellent.
Thank you.
So, are both of you from here, or where are you from? Like, what? How many siblings do you have? That type of thing.
Oh, yeah. Born in Calgary, raised in Lethbridge though since I was 2 years
Yeah.
old. I have a younger sister. Her name is Dayton.
Okay.
Yep, and yeah, I mean, Southern Alberta has been my home pretty much my whole life. I've done a couple stints out in Vancouver, but otherwise I've always been here.
Nice.
Very much the same for me. I was born in Calgary,
Yeah.
and then raised in Okotoks, just south of there.
Okay.
And came here about 6 years ago for university, and
Yeah.
I stayed ever since. And can't see myself going anywhere anytime soon.
Nice. Well, that's good. That's excellent. I'll get you guys to just move in a little bit so we can get you all in the picture and stuff. We're losing you over there. Don't want to do that. So that's great. So what did you take in university when you came?
Digital audio arts.
Digital audio arts, okay.
And that's what gave me the privilege of having
Yeah.
access to a nice big chunky studio to record the album and some other things and everything like
Nice.
that. But,
So is that where you do your recording now, or where do you record now?
well, that's to be determined.
Okay.
We finished the debut album, of course, there. But I've since graduated and I've finished
Yeah,
the degree and
okay.
everything like that. So we're probably going to continue doing what we did with the last album and utilize local talents.
Uh-huh.
The album itself was mastered by John Martin from here in town.
Yeah, the Green Recording Company.
Okay.
We for right off the get-go, we knew it was important to try and source as much as we could in terms of every step of the album, from either right here in town or as close as possible, because it's important to support what's going on
is.
in your own city and everything like that.
It is, and that's what we try and do here on Jess.
Mhm.
Jesse's great for doing that, and even myself, I want to get local artists, local business people to promote themselves, promote their business, promote their music, whatever, right? Because
Absolutely.
it's important to connect, people with their community, and we got a lot of great talent here. Not too many people realize that, I don't think, and we need to foster that. So that's great. Yeah, good stuff. So, can we get another song from you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on.
Okay.
Let's do it. What's this one called?
Okay, so this next one is called Freezing Over April, and it's kind of an allegory because, as a Southern Albertan, we're familiar with the long winters that extend well into May.
Except this winter.
Yeah.
And so it's also just like that kind of inward feeling where it's what's happening outside kind of reflects the mood within.
Okay, nice.
You ready, Sam?
You betcha.
It's not supposed to be this cold in April, and we have a feeling the snow's gonna stick to the cherry blossoms and windowsills, and we have a feeling what's changed like? How about that moment with the sun in your eyes and a place and a smell, even feeling? Oh, it's not supposed to be this bad in April, but there's nowhere else for me to go now. And none of this makes sense. I tried 1,000 ways to put this together, but all I could, what ifs and regrets and the wishful thinking of me. Gone come summer, I can say goodbye if it's so right. But every time I open the blinds, it gets harder and harder to face. None of this makes sense. Tried 1,000 ways to put this together, but all I get what ifs and regrets and a wish of thinking you'll be gone come summer. Bump, dump, dump, bump, bump, bump. Can't say goodbye if it's all right outside. And every time I open my eyes, no, it's not supposed to be this bad in April, but there's nowhere else for me to go now. No, there's nowhere else for me to go now. Can't say goodbye if it's always outside, and every time I open the blinds, it gets harder and harder to face.
Awesome. Nice. That's an excellent song, too. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good. So everybody has a particular artist that influences them. Who influences you, Mercedes?
Ooh.
You got that whole sort of Edie Brickell vibe going.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
For female artists, Alanis Morissette growing up, that Jagged Little Pill album was a huge influence on the way I wanted to, like, create my vocal instrument.
Okay, yeah.
So that was a big one. I'm super into Joan Jett and...
Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Oh, yeah, she was fantastic. I saw
Yeah.
her open up for Aerosmith a few years back, and it was just, I went for Joan Jett, not for Aerosmith.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's be very clear.
Go with Steve Tyler, you know. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure. How about you, Richard?
I've always been very public over my love of a lot of kind of desert rock bands like Queens of the Stone Age,
Okay.
and that type. A lot of the stuff that kind of came out of the Palm Springs area. I mean, pretty much anything that was West Coast rock in the '90s, even for that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
earlier I did say, you know, like Soundgarden and a lot of those kind of
Yeah.
grunge bands from Seattle and everything like that were really big in terms of having a really catchy songwriting that was still okay about singing about not being okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
right.
I think a lot of people associate catchy choruses of pop music with, you know, She Loves Me and I Feel Fine.
Mhm.
You know, not that the Beatles aren't fantastic too, but I think that's part of what really spoke to me about Mercedes' songwriting is because a lot of it is so honest and frank about you know what she's feeling or what anyone could be feeling in that emotion and everything
Yeah.
like that, and that's kind of part of what really like sold me on like wanting to you know pursue it farther and everything like that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, sometimes a catchy song title will trick you too. It's like "Let It Be" of the Beatles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Paul McCartney said he wrote that because his mom, like, he would get stressed out over things, and Mom said, "Just let it be, just let it be," right?
Yeah.
Because his mom's name was Mary. Everybody thinks it's a religious song of, you know, about a nun or whatever, Mother Mary, right?
Yeah.
Or, you know, Mary, the mother of Jesus, right? They
Yeah.
think that, but it was about something else. But it was a catchy tune, right? So when you're doing the songs, and you know, you do the melody first, and then the lyrics. So do you put the title to it afterwards, after all the lyrics come together? Or do you like say, okay, I'm going to call it this, and then you write that according to the title?
Most of the time, I write the title afterwards.
Yeah.
And so I think there's only one track on I Grew Up Here, Electric Night, where I thought of the title. I thought of Electric Night and said I want to write a song called Electric Night. So.
Okay, nice. What about you, Richard? Were you right?
I think it depends, because sometimes you get something that just sounds really cool, and you're like,
Yeah.
that would be a great title.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
work around. And other times, like Mercedes said, you write the words, and then something stands out, and you say, that should be the title right there.
Nice. Okay, great. Yeah. All right, we're going to get you guys to do another tune, okay?
Sure.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
What song are you going to do this time?
What do you say? Do you want to do Backseat?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, here's Richard and Mercedes with Backseat.
Ooh, I need some fix tonight. Won't you crack the window? Radio plays through the night, and well, I can feel the wind roll like both eyes on a worn-out road, and I don't care where we go, but you can ride shotgun as we sail the streets. Just do me one favor, leave your heart in the backseat. Don't want love, I just need stop sign. Friend. Do me a favor, let me sing breath and blow the smoke into the air where the sunset meets its end. Ride with me, faster than time as I try to forget what it means to put your life in boxes on the street. Sell your soul from popcorn and a kiss on the cheek. I will run away with you if you promise not to speak of tragedies and postcards of love. Just leave your heart in the backseat. Don't wanna love, I just need a stop sign, friend. Do me a favor, like me your secret. Ooh, fix tonight. Won't you crack the box? I can ride shotgun, you can take the wheel. Well, I don't care how I feel. I need silence, I can need this drink. Yeah. Outside the moon, here and see. Knows the outcome is we sail on, but I'll tell you one thing. I don't want love. I just need a stop sign, friend. Just do me a favor, light me a cigarette and blow the smoke into the air where the sunset meets its end. And ride with me faster than time as I try to forget what it means to put your life in boxes on the street. Sell your soul from popcorn and a kiss on the cheek. I will run away with you if you promise not to speak of tragedies and postcards alone. Just leave your heart in the backseat. I don't want love, I just need a stop sign, friend. So do me a favor, like me a secret. I don't want love, I just need a stop
job.
Thank you.
Nice. It has been a privilege having you guys in the studio this morning. Thank you so much, Mercedes, Richard, for coming in. Fawn, from Fawn's Music, Mercedes Fawn. And they have a band. They have music that you can download and get their CDs and whatever. Do you have a website or anything as well?
Actually, yes. It's one of those Wix websites, though,
Okay.
which is horrible. So it's like Fawn's Music Wix free and everything.
Right.
So if you visit our Facebook page, Fawn's Music YQL, everything, the links that you need to everything else are there. Our live videos are on YouTube and everything. So.
Okay, nice. And you have a YouTube channel, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we've got a
which is-
YouTube channel, Instagram.
Right.
So come
So,
find us.
and those will all be Fawn's Music
Fawn's Music.
that
yeah.
they can find. Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Good stuff. Great. Thank you for watching today.
Thanks,
Feel the Beat
everyone.
with DJB. Again, thank you guys for coming in. It's been a privilege having you in here. Check us out on Jess FM on our webpage, jessfm.ca. Download the app on your smartphone, whether it's iPhone or Android. Tune in every Saturday morning, Sunday morning to Feel the Beat with DJB. That's me. So thank you. Be nice to each other. Be kind. Have fun. DJB out.